The natural springs. It's where it's at. Today, that's what we're going to talk about. The natural springs are points where groundwater naturally exits the ground as surface water, driven by gravity or hydrostatic pressure from underground aquifers. They can be classified by water chemistry, flow rate, or whether they are hot or cold. Springs are important components of the water cycle, provide vital fresh water for humans, and serve as sensitive indicators for monitoring groundwater health due to their tendency to concentrate pollutants. Tell me what you think about that, Maze.
Well, I like the thought of having fresh water. It sounds like a total vibe, if I'm being for real. That sounds like a vibe.
Water is a vibe.
Water is definitely a vibe. It's pretty crazy how that type of shit happens naturally, for real. Like, let's really go back and see what's going on here. As the groundwater is naturally exiting the ground as surface water, driven by gravity or hydrostatic pressure from underground aquifers. It's just crazy, dude. I don't know.
Pushes itself up through pressure or just kind of collects.
Yeah.
That's basically the layman terms. What do you think, Dollar?
So basically, what you're saying is that these natural springs build up until they buzz.
Oh, they buzz. Don't come in. Don't come in.
And then they become an aquifer. And they can be classified by their water chemistry, which I didn't even know water had chemistry. You know what I mean?
I mean, it is H2O. You know what I'm saying?
I guess it does take two to tango with some H2O.
Oh.
Unless you're watching HBO, which you can do. But you should tune into Lava Labs, because that's the place to be.
I like that. I like it. So, let's go ahead and let's show a little video here for the people.
Okay.
Kind of give them some firsthand on the scenes stuff. Jay Brand on the spot, if you will.
So this is like some firsthand experience.
Yeah. This is like Lava Labs 420 News on the spot. In looking into the topics we're talking about.
Damn.
We went on location to make sure these aquifers were good.
And legit.
Yeah. We take our job serious here
All
at
right.
Lava Labs.
Let's go ahead.
So that's me on the act, passing a natural spring that's busting up into this lake. More of a pond, if you will. You can clearly see it's pushing itself. That's like
just
hydrostatic pressure.
This is like one of many, right?
Yeah, there was 3 I found. We just doing a little turn trying to come back to it because it would push you away. There was like no current in the water, but when you got close to it, it would push you away.
I was gonna say I see vibrations happening around the waves that it's making. So like I'm sure you could feel it, huh?
I went through it with my feet. You'll see in another video coming up, but it got instantly cold. Like
Really?
you notice it right away, like because all that new water's coming up, and it was cold. And some I guess are hot, but we don't have any. I don't know if we don't have any, but we don't have a lot of hot springs on this type of seaboard. That's more out west.
Okay.
Mason, why don't you go ahead and read this one for a brother?
You want me to read this one, buddy?
Yeah, you're my brother.
All right. Human and environmental significance. Freshwater source. Springs are a crucial source of fresh water for both humans and ecosystems. Particularly in arid regions with little rainfall. Ecological importance, they are vital parts of the ecosystems they exist in and support various forms of life, including extremophiles in hot springs. Monitoring groundwater health, because springs gather flow from large land areas, they are sensitive indications of shallow groundwater health, concentrating the effects of pollution and human activity. Potential contamination. Springs can be vulnerable to contamination from nearby human activities such as septic systems, agricultural runoff, and chemical spills. Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, that's usually the ones we have around here. I remember as a kid would be like agricultural runoff. When
Okay.
you live in farm towns, you have creeks going everywhere, and you could have them like washing out pens of all the animal dookie and pee and all that, and it's getting into the creeks, and that's just, I mean, that's not good for the water. Both the fish living in there, you name it. So
Not
Where
to
you-
mention,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if it says like septic systems, could you imagine like you're getting ready to go swim in a spring and you're like, oh, this will be fun, and then it's
Right.
like just shit water, bro.
Yeah, dude. Hell no. What were you even doing over there, bro? What were you doing out in a place like that?
I was at a music festival.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was part of it. It was a little vacation, a little bit of investigation for the podcast. So put it on the
I mean,
old-
you were-
put it on the company card.
I mean, you were scouting. You were scouting.
That's what we call a 2-for-1 special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's that?
exactly.
So it's a write off.
Oh yes,
Nah, but
James Williams Bottomtooth the third.
So let's move on to the next clip here. We should have another first-hand experience. So yeah, it's me with my feet in it.
yeah, those you can see the vibration.
You can hear it. So that might be the bands in the background too.
Natural spring. Okay.
Made my feet feel super soft.
Really?
Yeah, they're very moisturized. It's very nice.
That's interesting.
Tyler, why don't you run it on that?
Oh, okay.
Let us know the characteristics of natural springs here.
Well, according to what I'm reading here, according to my calculations, the variable flow is the amount of water from a spring, which can range from a mere trickle to a significant volume, depending on aquifer size, pressure, and rainfall. Now, the mineral content, which is another key factor, is that spring water can contain dissolved minerals, which give it its color and affect its chemistry. Hot springs, for example, may contain various minerals depending on the rocks they pass through. Now, the most important characteristic, in my opinion, is all about the flavor, right?
Ooh, that's
the
true.
taste.
Flavor.
Now, the quality and taste of spring water, it can vary significantly. It's often described as crisp and clean, but
Or-
it also can contain a unique mineral taste.
Could also be known as clean and crisp too. Just saying.
Hey, crisp and clean, like the water.
Yep.
That's what we're saying.
All right. All right.
Calling
Okay.
cab.
You go, Gab.
Do what I want.
Next video.
Yeah.
That's a honker.
Yeah. That's another one I rolled up on. This was all at Holy Smokes.
Was that holy smoke?
Yeah. Little Stranger,
Shouts out a little
Yeah.
stranger.
Andy Frasco and the UN.
Yup.
Little side story about Nelson Ledges Quarry Park, which is where that is. It's found. Shout out. So legend has it that the whole way it got filled with water was that they were working in the quarry mining quartz, and one of the machines kind of just hit something and started pushing out water, and in a few days filled all that.
Damn. Okay.
So that's a lot of water.
A lot of
It's very
water.
wet.
A lot of water.
Yeah, it's very moist.
Could you imagine
We'll take
if
it.
you were settling there? You know what I mean? Like you had just setting up like your tent site or something, and you're like, "Oh, this will be the perfect spot." And then it just starts filling up with water, and you're like, "Oh, so we gotta get out of here,
Yeah.
You would be what the youngins call cooked.
Yeah, well,
probably
you
right.
you probably would be bad at camping because that mean you set your tent at the bottom of a quarry.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Everybody at the bottom of the quarry.
I thought it was a nice spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that.
You got social security.
Yeah.
I gotta find this raccoon coat down there, dog.
So we'll roll it out with the formation and types of them now. So you have the aquifers and pressure, which is a spring forms when an aquifer becomes full enough to overflow onto the land surface, or when water pressure pushes groundwater through cracks and tunnels to emerge at the surface. So that's kind of the latter part, is how, like what I was saying too earlier, where like a machine hit something and that water just pushed up.
Right.
So you have gravity versus artesian springs. Gravity springs emerge where the water table intersects the land surface. Artesian springs form when groundwater under pressure in a confined aquifer finds a way to the surface, such as through a fault. And then hot springs, which, as I said, we really don't have out here, it's springs heated by geothermal energy where groundwater comes into the contact with hot rocks or magma near the Earth's interior.
And those are like geysers, right? Like the shooting, like warm geysers, like hot springs.
Yeah, it could be a geyser, or you just water where there's just like a pond that I was in, except the water is not cold, it's warm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like hydrothermal.
I think there's some I've heard of that like are actually like so hot that they will kill you if you like try to swim with them.
Oh,
or just the chemicals in it.
And I remember, it wasn't too long ago, I remember seeing online, there was this video that just like popped up on like a reel or something of this like rhinoceros walking in Africa, and he like trips and falls in this water, and it's like a hot spring like that, and you just see smoke, like steam basically is what I meant to say.
Damn.
Might be one more video here.
Okay.
So you get, that one's like the super pressurized one. Like you can see like a whole layer.
That's the
coming.
honker, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to replay that one more time. That's like a very good. You can kind of like really see the bubbles coming up in the middle.
Yeah. You can see how deep it is too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's pretty nice. And then that's the quarry park itself. So you can imagine that whole thing at one point was just dug 30, 40 feet down, and they were getting quartz rocks, and then out of nowhere it just filled up with water.
That's crazy. And just to give you an idea, like the bottom right, those are cars.
Yep, and that's where like the beach is. And so like if you walk straight from where that beach is, there's just a bunch of stages, and that's where all the bands are.
Hell yeah.
And they have stages and picnic tables and food vendors, clothing vendors. The thing I thought was cool, this guy with a drone, he was a drone photographer, he was showing me this picture. If you turn it like upside down, it's kind of like the shape of Ohio.
It kind of does look like that. It also kind of like, the closest thing I can think of up here that this reminds me of is Amity, like the like in Delaware, you know what I'm talking about? What's it called?
Alum Creek.
Alum Creek.
Yeah.
Yes, Alum Creek.
Alum Creek, I would say, is bigger than this.
Okay.
But this is probably deeper or as deep. Because quarries tend to be pretty deep.
Oh yeah. That's dope. You just gotta like be in a kayak and listening to music at a festival.
Yeah,
basically.
there was like, can't remember what day it was. There was like some bands I had never heard of, so I was like, well, brought the kayak, so we'll just kind of kayak that whole day and listen to them, and then go back to shore when there's a bunch of bands we kind of came to see, and then went hard for them.
Oh yeah.
I can't be on my feet all day. So it's nice to kind of kayak, break it up. If you ever get a chance, it's Nelson Ledges Quarry Park. They do all kinds of concerts, festivals.
Nelson Ledges.
Ooh, goodbye.
Shouts out Nelson. Shouts out Nelson. You guys shouts out Nelson. If it's Nelson Ledges.
Oh, you're right. Shouts out
Bye,
Nelson.
everybody.
Shouts
I love
out
you guys.
Nelson.
Shouts out. Make sure to like and subscribe. And go to www.lavalabs.com. That's with a Z. And get you some fresh new merch. Thank you.
Bye, Nelson.